Hey YouTubers. So your turbo coolant line in the back of your block on your S13 SR20 is leaking. Probably hate your life right now. Not that hard to do. To get it off, there's going to be a catch can right here if you still have the factory catch can, which has a bolt here, and it has this line that I'm using here. It'll have one clamp here, and it has one clamp right down over here. So there's a short line here, your catch can, and then this line. And you have to take off this bolt, and I think this bolt here too. So that's step one. Step two is where your turbo line is here. There's a little bolt on the back of the block, which I probably can't even get the camera in there. It was either a 12 or a 14 millimeter. Right about, yeah, right where that bolt is there. It's either, I think it's a 12 millimeter. Pretty much you got to use a box wrench to get it out. It's a pain in the butt. And that has a little L bracket that goes to the hard line coming off your turbo here. Take that line off. There's going to be a spring clamp right here. Remove this line and pull your turbo line away. That's the easy part. And then you got to come over to this side. You might not even be able to see it depending on how your car's laid out. But I put my arm right down through here underneath the heater core lines, and I was able to get to the spring clamp on the other side of the line, which my finger is touching. If I can get right. Yeah, I'll get the camera down here. You can see the clamp right over there. Now to get that off, you can see on the bottom there. To get that off, what I did was I took a needle nose pliers, going down to the same route. Let's put the camera through. Got a needle nose pliers up in there. Rotated the two little tabs on the clamp over to, so they're facing the firewall, so that this way. And then I went and got my trusty needle nose vice grips, got those back there, clamped it, came around this side, and then just pulled the line off with a little bit of persuasion. So I went down to AutoZone, got myself a new piece of hose, cut it down to size, took my vice grips, reclamped the spring clamp, and slid it down the hose. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to feed the clamp in through this side and kind of have it rest on the transmission, then go over to the other side and try to finagle it back on. I hand up the underside and got the hose to fit on that little the little barb, and since the clamp was pre-tensioned with the vice grips, all I had to do was pop the vice grips open and the clamp was set. Then on this side I went ahead and opted for a fuel line clamp because I don't really like the spring clamps. It was kind of a pain in the ass getting the pliers in there, so I used a fuel line clamp, which I just bolted down, and the ratchet fit right through behind the head, no problems, with a couple extensions, and wasn't that bad. So if your rear turbo line is leaking, have no fear. It's really not as bad as I originally thought, and I know there was a lot of write-ups and whatnot that I found online on how to do this. However, I didn't see any photos. All the photos were missing. So hopefully this video helps you out, and good luck.